Hello and welcome, my fellow yogis. This yoga session that we are about to have is for all levels. It won't be a super advanced class, it will be more beginner, but the goal is to move the body and stretch and get the blood flowing. Maybe we're all used to sitting at a desk or we're used to standing. So the goal is to move the body in different directions than it's used to being in all day. Kind of reverse the blood flow and stretch. Relax the mind, relax the heart rate, maybe get the anxiety levels low. So yes, that's the goal. My name is Tara. I am an avid yogi. I do a lot of yoga. I haven't led a lot of yoga. It's new for me, so I'm really excited to start doing that for CAF and the community. I am a challenged athlete. I was in a car accident, and due to the car accident, I have a left amputation. I wear a prosthetic on my left side. And through CAF and the community of CAF, I have been able to get back into an active lifestyle and running, cycling, swimming, all of that. And now I've kind of settled into yoga, and I'm really grateful to be able to move my body. And I think that is the biggest focus for us all today, is the gratitude for the simple fact that we are alive and that we woke up this morning. We have a heart rate, we have a heartbeat, we have our blood flowing, and we have the ability to come together in such crazy times in the world, at least virtually, and still connect and move our bodies. And so let's focus on moving our bodies, breathing, and gratitude. I'm going to start on my mat. You don't need a mat. If you have one, great. If you don't, fine. Really, all you need is a space, an open mind, and your body. You don't need any props. If you have props you like to use, that's fine, but really just your body. And with my eyes closed. And for everyone out there, you can follow what I do visually or audio. You can hear me, or you don't have to. You can do whatever you want. You can modify however you want. Just do what feels good in your body. That's the goal. You don't have to exactly mirror what I'm doing. Just do what feels good for you and modify how you need to. So I'm going to start with my eyes closed. I'm cross-legged on my mat. And my hands are down to ground. If you feel like you want to receive a little bit more and you're more open, put your hands up to receive. I'm going to start grounding. I'm going to take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. And we're going to do this 5 times. Follow along, do it at your own pace, but just kind of ground down and settle. Out. 3 more times. In and out. In and out. You probably start to feel a little more relaxed. In through the nose and out. And kind of open your eyes. Rub your legs a little bit, start moving around. And I'm going to start really simply with moving our head to the right shoulder and holding there for 5 seconds. While breathing, always remember to keep breathing if you can. I'll try and remind you along the way. And then back through the center and over to the left. And back through the center. We're just kind of going to warm up a little bit, warming up the spine. You never want to just jump into moving drastically in the body. Back over to the left. And to the front, looking down, through the center, looking back. We're always going to come back through the center of the body. So back down and back. And then kind of moving them all together. So to the right, through the center to the left, down, through the center back. And then what I'm going to do is get back on all fours. So I'm going to start on my knees and my hands right out in front of me. So try and be right above your wrist. If you need a slight bend in the elbow, that's fine. I like to keep mine straight. And my legs are bent. My hips are right above my knees. So try to kind of be like in a square from the side. You kind of look like this. With a flat spine, you want to keep the spine flat if you can while we warm it up. And we're just going to do a cat and cow. Very simple. So in and reach up with your neck. And out. Just kind of like articulating the spine if you can. Back through the center, just like we did with the neck, and out. And back up. And take any organic movements that feel good in your body, like my hip just snapped because it needs to be warmed up. And kind of wag, this is called wagging the tail a little bit. And back through cat and cow. Just what feels good on your spine. Kind of move your neck around now that we have that warmed up. Move your hips around. Really simple movements that get the blood flowing and the spine warmed up and ready to stretch. Kind of go back on your heels a little bit if you can. Stretch your arms out. I like to rest my forehead down on the mat. And just stretch your body. Stretch your arms. Stretch your hips. And I'm going to start really simply by reaching up with my left arm to the side. So this is going to twist the spine a little bit, twist the abdomen, and that's what we want. We want to twist. You can't see my arm up here, but I'm wiggling my fingers, getting that blood flow moving in the fingers and the arms. Maybe you're used to typing at the computer a lot. This is really good for that. Good shoulder stretch. And I'm going to thread the needle. So I'm going to push my left arm through and rest my head on the mat. You should feel this really nicely up in the shoulders. Should feel really good. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Always keep that in mind. If it doesn't feel good, if it hurts or causes you pain, ease up a little bit and don't do it. A little bit of discomfort is okay because you want to stretch. And open back up. This is also going to open the heart space a little bit, which is what we want, right? We want to keep our heart and our mind open. And then I'm just doing this to show you, but I'm going to go back on the other side. So this is the right side, and I'm going to do the same thing. Opening the other side of the shoulder, wiggling the fingers around, wiggling the arm. But really feeling a twist in the spine, feeling the heart open. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to thread the needle, thread the arm through, and rest my head down. Sometimes you can put the other arm up toward your head, above your head, so you feel even more of a stretch on your other shoulder. Again, only do it if it feels good. It should feel really good, kind of like a release. And then come back up and open back up. We carry a lot of tension in our shoulders and in our neck. So this is really good to release it and let it go. Again, remember breathing the whole time. And then back down on all fours. And come back in the front. And again, simple stretches. So I'm going to stretch my right leg back behind me. Really get into that foot. Open it up. kind of wiggle it around, wiggle around the ankle, and then bring it back to all fours. And the other foot, my ankle I can't feel, but still wiggle it around, wiggle around those muscles in the leg, stretch it out. And then we're going to do opposite arms. So right arm forward, stretch it out. And the next arm, and then I'm gonna combine the arms and the legs on the opposite side, if that makes sense. So start with the right leg back, the left arm forward, and then raise it up. Hold that. You want to feel this in your core. Remember to keep breathing. Point the toes, point the fingers, and stretch. Feel the body elongate. And then bring them forward and connect the elbow and the knee. Really feel this in the core. Hold. And then stretch back out. We're going to do this 3 times. Getting the body warm, breathing. And then stretching back out. Really feel your body get long. Back down on all fours. Wiggling around, starting to feel good and warm. This is when it starts to get fun, when you feel good and warmed up and you're starting to relax and move. That's what yoga is all about. So left leg back and up, right leg forward and stretch. Feel everything elongate and breathe. You can see. I'm going to do this to the side so you can see. So I'm back and I'm forward, opposite arm, opposite leg. Feel it in your glute and really flex your glute so you're engaging those muscles. And then forward. My elbow and knee don't fully touch because of my prosthetic, but do what you can. You want to feel it in the abdomen. And then we're going to do that 3 more times. And I feel this a lot in my glute because I'm trying to engage it, and also in my core. And then elongate, feel it, stretch it, and then back down on all fours. Excuse me. So now we're going to kind of combine those movements. So put your right leg back, your left leg back, and you're going to hold a plank. And this is going to get everything warmed up. You're going to feel it in your core, and your shoulders, and your arms, and your legs. You should feel it everywhere. Try and keep, let me show you again from the side. So try and keep your spine straight. Like, you don't want to be like this. You don't want to be like this. You want to be straight in your spine, and that means that your core is really engaged. You may feel a little shaking. Your breath gets heavy. That's good. That's normal. We want that. That tones the body, it strengthens it, and that's what we want. I kind of like to move around, getting everything warmed up. Go back to the front. So from the plank position, we're going to go downward facing dog. And this position, this yoga position, downward facing dog, should feel very comfortable. If you need to move your feet closer to your hands, that feels better, that's fine. But the goal is to try and get your heels, let me show you from the side. So to try and get your heels down on the ground is the goal. And if you can see, my spine is flat. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do this. We want to keep it straight and flat. And again, it should feel really good. It should feel like a release. Like, release your head. Move it around, side to side, up and down. Pedal out your feet, kind of like bend one knee, bend the next one. Pedal them out, move your feet around. This feels really good in the feet. You should also really feel it in the hamstrings, and if it's too much, you can keep a bend in your knees if it's too much in your hamstring. And really just breathe. Take some deep breaths here. Getting your head below your heart like this is really, really good. It changes your point of view. gives you a different perspective, which is always good. It's keeping that mind open. I'm gonna go back on my mat so I don't slip. So I'm here, and I'm gonna simply just walk forward. So my hands are behind my wrists, and I'm gonna do ragdoll. So put your opposite hands and your opposite elbows if you can, and if you can't, do whatever you can, whatever feels good. If this is too much in the shoulders, just keep your hands down. I like to kind of really bend into this. I feel a big release in my lower back, in my back hamstrings, in my glute, everything. Just a real big release. Kind of like move it around, shake it side to side, move your head and your neck. Again, this should feel really good. I am ultra flexible just by nature. It's the way I was born. So my legs are usually straight and even kind of like too straight. So if you need to keep a bend in your legs, that's normal. That's probably better. If you're not as flexible, the bend in your knees will help. Again, you don't want to feel any pain. So do whatever feels good in your body. And with your feet about hip width apart, keep your hands down. Plant your right hand flat, and we're going to do another opening. So open up to the left. My left hand is up, and I'm going to put a bend in my right leg. So I'm really feeling this stretch on the left side of the leg, right here. This should feel really good. Again, keeping the heart open. You can even look up at your hand if you have a flexible neck, and just breathe into that stretch. Breathe into that leg. Wiggle your fingers around. This is what my fingers are doing up above if you can't see in the camera. And then bring it back down. We're going to do the other side. I'll come over here so you can see. So I'm back down, and so I'm on the right side. Again, if you're on the left side, whatever side you're on is fine. Just make sure you do both sides. So plant my left hand, bend my left leg, and pull up on the right side. Open that heart, look up. Breathe into the stretch right here. You should feel it really nicely. It should really feel good in a release. Breathe. And then come back down. I like to just have all four on the ground, meaning both hands, both feet, and just kind of like plant yourself down so you feel grounded. Breathe, and I'm going to move forward just so I can show you. I like to kind of keep a little sliver in my heels, but my toes are together on the ground. And if you need to be hip width apart for better balance, that's fine. I like to keep mine closer together, and I'm going to kind of slowly come up, uncurl the spine, one vertebrae at a time. See if you can see me. Just trying to get my camera right. So go like this. Okay, so standing it on your mat, wherever you are, wherever you are on the floor, and ground down. Relax your shoulders and bring your hands up above. Again, relax your shoulders. And I'm going to do a steeple grip. I feel like you maybe can't see me. So my grip is this, above my head. And I'm going to go kind of what we did in the beginning with the head and the neck. So I'm going to go over to the side. And really stretch the side body right here. You should feel all of this stretching up and out over the fingertips, and really just like breathe into it. It should feel really good. You can do this kneeling too if it's too hard to stand. And then back up through center and over to the other side. Mine is the left side. Really feel it in the side abdomen. Keep breathing, and then come back up through center. Separate the hands. Look up and do a slight mini back bend if you can. This is a good heart opener. Really let that heart open. Let the eyes look up. And I'm going to fold forward like this. All the way back down where your hands are on the ground. I'm going to come to the side again so you can see me. So I'm back down and I'm going to go halfway lift. So bring your hands right below your knees on your shins. Again, flat spine right here is what we want. So halfway lift, back down. And again, up. We're going to do that same thing one more time with a steeple grip on top with your fingers and over. Feeling a really good stretch on the side. I really just felt a snap in my back in a good way. It should be doing releasing as you go. And back up through center and back over to the other side. Breathing. Separate your hands, look up in a little mini back bend. And up and back down. I like to bring my hands through heart center. Down, halfway lift. And this time we're going to come back down to the plank. So on all your hands and your feet, you can come to your knees if that's easier, like this. This is a modification, but I'm up on my feet. Again, engaging the core, flat spine, and we're going to do a chaturanga. So elbows and arms kind of graze the side of your body like this. Let's try it from the side. We're going to go chaturanga, grazing the sides until your elbows are at like a 90-degree angle. And then we're going to go up, upward facing dog. This should feel really good. Be gentle. It's our first time in this position. It can be really comfortable if you do it slowly and breathe. Kind of go to the side and the other side to downward facing dog. So that's kind of the sequence that we're gonna do in a flow and a little bit of a faster pace. You can go your own pace. You can go faster. You can go slower. You can add push-ups if you want to make it more advanced. Do what you need to do. Downward facing dog. Step up to behind your wrists. Halfway lift, flat spine. Back down and all the way up. Steeple grip to the side. Up through the center and over to the other side. Breathing. Separating the hands and doing a little mini back bend, opening the heart. And coming back down. Hands on the ground, halfway lift, flat spine. Step it forward and back to plank. Down to chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. We'll do that sequence one more time and then I'll add on a little bit. And then we'll kind of cool it down and do a little stretching and breathing and move along on our day. So step forward, feet behind the wrists, halfway lift, flat spine, back down and up. Steeple grip in your fingers, over. Breathe into that side body. Up through center and over to the other side. Really stretch those fingers. Feel it in that side body. Up through center, mini back bend. Hands through heart center, back down. Hands below the knees, halfway lift, flat spine. Walk it out to plank position. It can be on your knees again. You can add push-ups, whatever you want to do. Make it your workout for your body. Come down, graze your body. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. So from here, I'm going to add on a little bit, just a little more stretch in the hips. I'll come to the side so you can see. So downward facing dog. I'm going to lift my right leg up only to about hips distance. You don't want to go above the hip yet. We're just warming up the hips. So hips distance, pointing your feet, flexing them, really getting like the blood flow going in the leg, moving it around. This should feel really good in the knee joint and the hip joint. And then bring it through to the abs and step your foot through and step it down. So you're going to have it in between your hands. So again, we're going to do a twist. It's going to be a little more advanced, but we're going to keep our left hand down and move over to the other side. Open the heart, keeping your legs in the lunge position. Really strong in the back leg, strong straight leg. Again, to modify, you can be on your knees. Open the heart. Back down, and I'm going to straighten both of my legs. So this is triangle position. You can move your feet closer if you need to. You also can keep a bend in your legs, in your knees, but I'm going to straighten them. And the goal is to get the nose to the knee. Keep your arms straight, keep your legs straight. This should feel really good in the hamstring. Breathe. This position is really good for your sleep cycles. So really focus on that. Know that it's really relaxing the body from the inside out. Take one more breath. Bend into the knee. We're back in lunge position, and we're going to step it back into plank. Graze your body. Chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And we're going to do it on the other side. So whatever leg you did, do the other leg. Mine's my left now from the side, so you can see. So lift to hips, height, not above, not below, but right there. Move it around, move your knee around, your ankle, your foot, your hip. Get it lubricated in the joints. And then back at hip position. And we're going to step it through. So step it through in between the hands. You can move kind of in and out of the lunge, get it warmed up. For me, I have my right leg back, and it's strong. You're going to feel really strong in the back leg. And it's important to keep the knee right above the ankle. Don't have it back or forward, but right above. And then I'm going to open up. Again, these twists are what we've kind of been warming up to, and they're so good for heart opening, for the spine. Strengthening that spine every day, even just a little bit of stretching, is so good as we age. It helps with pain, it helps with discomfort, tightness. We want to keep that lubricated. That's the goal. Bring it back down. Now we're going to do triangles. So straighten both legs. Straighten your arms, and the goal is to have your nose at your knee. Breathe. Breathe into it. You'll feel it in your back hamstring and the front leg. Keep your legs strong. Keep your feet grounded. Breathe into it. Let it feel good. And then bend back forward. We're going to step it back. I'll do it. Oops. Don't get caught on your mat. I'm going to do it from the side this time. So back to plank, down to chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. So your body should be feeling pretty good, pretty warmed up. I'm going to come down to our knees. So kind of close it out a little bit, and I like to get down however you need to, safely. My legs are down. I like to shake them out. Shake the body out and lift the arms up. And while keeping the spine flat, I'm going to do it from the side. So up, my legs are out, my feet are flexed. And bend forward as much as you can without bending your knees. The minute your knees start to bend is where you stop. Again, I'm flexible, so I can go all the way down and I can grab my feet while keeping my spine straight and my knees and legs straight. And just bend into this. Breathe. Again, even if you're just right here, that's fine. Whatever you can do is amazing. Breathe into it. Again, we appreciate our bodies for what they can do. We focus on what they can versus what they can't. And how great that we are able to move them. Okay, and come back up. And then we're going to take one leg out. My left leg is out. My right leg is bent in. Again, a little more side stretching. So stretch over as far as you can. Maybe it's just to your knee. I can go all the way to my foot. And again, open. You should feel this really nicely in the side body. Keep your heart open. If you notice, a lot of these positions are heart opening, which again is the goal. We want to keep an open, light heart in life. Don't let it close. Keep it open. And you can enjoy the experiences in life fully, which is what we want, right? We want to experience life fully and remain open. And then kind of bring your arm down and just fold over that one leg. Take a deep breath. You should feel really good also in this bent leg over here in your quad. You should feel a nice stretch. And just breathe. And then we're going to just kind of go through to the other side. So switch out your legs. I can't bend this leg as much because of my prosthetic, but do what you can. And kind of stretch over. I can grab my foot. Again, here's where we're going to feel the stretch in the side body. And breathe, stretch. Let it feel really good, and then bend over and grab what you can. You can grab my foot. Maybe you can grab your calf, your knee, whatever you can do. Breathe. Come back up, and I like to cross my legs for this ending part. Whatever leg you started with in front, do the opposite. It will feel awkward, but that's the goal. So I'm going to go with my left leg in front versus my right. And then get your hips and your bottom really grounded, like pull away any flesh that you need to and get just grounded. You should feel a lot more grounded than when we started. Take some breaths. Again, my hands are down to ground. You can put them up to receive. My hands are down. We're going to kind of go back to the beginning. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to do that 3 more times. And I want you to think in your mind one word that you're grateful for. Mine that comes to my mind is family. So breathe in with that word. And out. Maybe some other words come in. My dog comes in. Breathe in. Maybe it makes you smile. And breathe out. And 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Open your eyes. So remember how you felt in the beginning. Recognize how you feel now. You should feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more open. I always feel happier after yoga, which is why I do so much of it. It really is my therapy. I encourage you to stretch your body however you can daily, even if it's for 5 minutes. Take some time to stretch and breathe. Always remember to breathe. I want to close the session by thanking all of you for taking time out of your day for yourself. That is so important. So important so that you can navigate everything around you in your life, especially with the chaos going on right now. You can find some time for yourself to ground down. You can navigate the rest of it a little bit better, I promise you. So I'm going to ask you to join me with your hands in heart center. And we're going to take one last breath together, in and out. And I want to say Namaste. Thank you so much.